Hello everybody, how goes it? Just thought I would do a little review of the Shimano Curado DC150. It's a reel that recently came out from Shimano. It's a mid-level reel that costs about $249.99, so we can average out to $250. But its claim to fame is you get longer casting distance with less backlashes. So I wanted to test that theory out. I ended up splurging and I got two, one for fluorocarbon and one with braid. So what I did was I put, I think I teamed the fluorocarbon, the braid one up. I think I used 30-pound Seaguar with a heavy Shimano 7-foot heavy rod. The fluorocarbon, I teamed it up with Seaguar, AbrazX 17-pound fluorocarbon with a Shimano Compre 7-foot medium heavy rod, and that seemed to work out for me. Yes, I'm doing a lot of ums, but this is it as we see right here. It is about 7.8 ounces. It's got about an 11-pound drag. It's got a decent sized spool, as you can see. The handles are nice, and I used it quite extensively a few days ago since getting it and getting my boat back and getting on the water. What I did notice is it, for me, I had no backlashes using the fluorocarbon. Now, I will caveat and say that I've always had problems throwing lures lighter than a half ounce. So I didn't try any half ounce lures. What I did try half ounce and above on this reel. And on the fluorocarbon, fishing pretty much all day the other day, I had no backlashes on the fluorocarbon. I did have one backlash on the braid, but I had the backlash on the braid, and I think that was my issue, was because when I made the cast, I thumbed it when I probably shouldn't have, and that created a backlash. So other than that, I would say it's a good reel. And like I said, it's 7.8 ounces. It's got a low profile, about 11 pounds of drag, smooth reeling, and the thumb release for the line is nice and smooth too. I tried using on the fluorocarbon. As you can see, I had this half-ounce spinnerbait, was one of the last ones I used, so I left it on there. So I used this half-ounce spinnerbait. I used some half-ounce swim jigs, half-ounce lipless crankbaits, and a couple other half-ounce weights too. Oh, and a couple of half-ounce swimmers, owner beast swimmers that tie Kitech on, swim baits. So all my casts, all my fluorocarbon, and me, like I said, winging it. I didn't get any backlashes. I did get a good bit of distance. And the thing with that is, I think I was getting at least, I'd say, 10 to 15 yards. That's like 30 to 45 more feet of distance, and that's just minimal, I would say. I didn't even try turning with the wind to see how much I would get if I was casting with the wind, because most of the time I was either casting diagonal, crosswind, or against it, and I didn't even get any backlashes casting against it. Of course, it wasn't that windy when I was doing. I think it was only maybe gusting 5 to 10 miles an hour when I was using it, but didn't get any backlashes on the fluorocarbon. Like I said, I did get the one on the braid. I was using a 5/8 ounce frog. I think it's called the River to Sea Fat Daddy, and I did. And other than that one time, I didn't get any. But yeah, I mean, even pulled off from the bank because there was a couple creeks that we couldn't get into when I was using the frog on the braid. I was able to cast it out there and land it in spots where I wanted to get it that were normally out of range if I wasn't using that. So, I mean, it's the only thing I'd say is, yeah, I got more casting distance. I'm sure you will too. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with The reasoning behind that, it's supposedly, and I'm not sure of how the engineering features are set up, but the digital casting system has an internal braking system that is said to sense the rotations of the spool and thus monitor, I forget how many times it supposedly monitors the spin per second to allow line release and control backlashes. So like I said, that's the engineering piece of it. It's got a nice little sound that when you wing it, you can tell. I guess that's part of the digital casting thing. That nice little sound it makes, that when you wing it out there, you can tell there's there's line going out, because it makes a nice little sound, a little audible sound. But I enjoyed it. I would recommend it if you want to get into that price range and give it a try. It's like I said, it retails for like about $250. I did get a 10% discount because I'm a member at Tackle Warehouse. If you're a veteran or active duty military, you can sign up at Tackle Warehouse and take advantage of that 10% discount and free shipping on orders over $50. As you can see, I've taken advantage a little of those discounts from Tackle Warehouse. But if you have any additional questions or comments, feel free to put them down and write me. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. But I appreciate you tuning in and listening. And pardon all the ums. I know I might need to try and work on that in my speech when I'm doing videos. But hey, I work for a living just like everybody else. So anyway, appreciate you tuning in. And like I said, this was my review of the Shimano Curado DC150. And I hope it helps you guys to make a decision or not. And I will close by what I usually say. Remember, if you're not out fishing, you can't catch fish. Peace. Semper Fi. Hoorah.